Hello, this is Karen Williams from Swansea, and I have a wonderful guest this evening, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
I am Danielle Ufland, Westfield. I'm from Buffalo, New York. I am a single mother of 3 boys, 9, 7, and 5, and I am an independent consultant with Arbonne International.
Can you tell the listeners a little bit more about Arbonne in terms of what the product?
Arbonne is a health and wellness company with standards higher than the European standards.
Wow.
We ban 2,000 ingredients, chemicals, and we have anywhere from body care, skin care to nutrition products, fitness, and makeup. We are gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, I should just say, and we never test on animals, so we're animal cruelty-free.
Why are you so passionate about the product?
I had my own experience with the nutrition line, and I was getting 10 migraines a month. I went through a 30-day program and found out that I have a severe issue with dairy, which inflames my whole body and helped cut my migraines in half, which doctors couldn't do for 6 years. I went through all sorts of injections, medicines, treatments, and nothing helped until I did the 30 days with Arbonne. I also have a son with autism, which I should have spent a little bit more time on gluten-free issues, and I never did. So that made me feel good that I was learning about that. And my youngest son has congenital heart disease. So health has been really important to me. When I became a mother, all the things that touch my children in any way are scrutinized way better than they were for myself when I was alone. And Arbonne makes that easy for me. I don't question them. I trust them fully. I've seen the changes in myself, and I welcome them with open arms in my house completely.
It's an amazing testimony, and particularly as a mother of children, that you're, as a family now, really looking at the benefits there. So I'll explain to the listeners why we've met, Danielle, and that was as a result of going live with American Real. And American Real has this platform where we, if we join them as members, are able to speak for a good 60 seconds every day. And as a result of going live every day, I came across you. And I can remember feeling quite blessed at the fact that you were really working hard to juggle selling a product and having to take the boys to school and feed them and do everything else that needs to be done for children. And you were doing it so well, and you came across as somebody very, I would say, committed. So having said that, you then decided to get mentored. And so tell the listeners why you made that decision.
So the passion in the company helped me in itself, but I was still struggling with being vulnerable and putting myself out there. I remember being that person that did not want to do lives, and I was referred to American Real, and I did it. And I did it for, I'm on 3 cycles now, but I did it for probably a cycle, 21 days before I met you. And even though it was only a minute, I still seen a difference, but it wasn't enough difference. I was comfortable going live in front of who knows who was on there, strangers, but I struggled with the vulnerability of the immediate people in my life or around me in outer circles and the judgment. And I needed help getting past that. Even though I was doing internal work the past year, I still was stuck, and I needed help getting over that hurdle.
If somebody were to listen to this as a newbie, and they had the same issues, because a lot of people have issues with going live, and it's understandable because there are a lot of people out there that would, I think, take advantage of people that are going live. So if your experience of being mentored for a good 10 weeks. What's changed for you?
Confidence.
Yes.
I think the thing I was lacking was the structure. So I was getting on and presenting, and I know you helped me with tonality also. So I was more robot-like on just performing and doing what I was told. I never liked public speaking. I prayed that the teacher would never call on me. And I really struggled with those things. And then once you told me or showed me how to structure and get responses and do all those things properly, I had more confidence knowing how I should structure what I was doing. I had more confidence. You putting me on the spot and making me do lives out of nowhere within seconds of notice helped too. I just, I got more comfortable. I think the Zoom calls helped. I think the last second live pressure moments helped, speaking on my toes. I do find that all my lives are better when I do get a thought in my mind and I go live right away. But unfortunately, as a mother and things going on in the background, it's not always possible. And when I wait on those things, it's hard to recollect with those thoughts and collect them and get them together and come with the same passion that I had in the moment.
Yes.
So,
would you call yourself a mumpreneur?
I would call myself that. I chose this career not only because I love Arbonne and what they stand for, but because I love being a mom more than anything. And I still want to be a mom, number one. And this allows me to do that. I can do lives with my children. It's a little distracting. Now that I'm getting more comfortable, it's getting a little easier. But I'm a mom still. But I don't want to watch your kids running around in the background making a bunch of noise. I got that going on in my own house. So I can relate to that, and I choose not to always have my children around. I understand some people can't help it, but I try to make it so that I'm not distracted. I'm fully aware. It is cute once in a while to throw them in because it is realistic. Sometimes I give them something to distract them for the 10 minutes that I need. I'm also a firm believer in I don't have time to invest in a lot. I need it to be short and sweet like a commercial, or somebody's calling me and I'm no longer with you. So I do try to keep them short and sweet anyways, just because of that. I do like the minute with American Real, but it also shows me that a minute's not long enough. But my own personal suggestion, I think 5 minutes is too long. I see stuff that I'm interested in all the time, and when I come past it, I can watch, but then it's, oh, squirrel, and within 3 minutes, you've lost me. So it's not hard to fit that in and keep them distracted for a little bit of time.
You've given us a great kind of insight into what it's like to do a live as a mum with children and distractions. Now, that's something we discussed when we were looking at expressions and tonality and the message. So when the message is congruent and it's authentic, then you are actually what I call zoomed in on that message. So week 1 was about you becoming the real you, Danielle. And that's the mum. You've explained who you are in that respect. Week 2 would have been moving on to the message and then having the structure of that message and relating to other mums and dads or other families whereby you were passionate about your message. So I found you extremely engaging in that because you were relating well. And following that kind of, we call it pathos, where you have the hook into how you gain the listener's ear. Then you moved on to what I call putting meat onto that message by adding you're giving a lot of your insights because you've been selling it and you're good at selling it because you've won awards. And as a result of that confidence, you were able to, I would say, be somebody who I think is credible. So a credible person, people will trust. And we discussed for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, the scenario about trusting somebody,
Yes.
particularly when they go live online. So did the links that I gave you in terms of some credible mentors that are either British or they're American or global, did they help? Did they help you to see a different side of going live?
Yes. I feel like all I had was what was immediately in my friends, my friends group of lives. I really didn't have time. I didn't, when I shopped Facebook, it was for seconds, because that was all I had time for. Now I have a little bit more time because my business is on there, but I hadn't really seen, I heard of Jay Shetty, but I hadn't really ever watched anything. I will tell you that I'm very intrigued now with Buddhism. And it's something I don't think was in my mind 10 weeks ago, but I have been doing a little research on it and looking further into that. I have faith, but I don't know if I absolutely was stuck or had officially chosen a religion for myself. I just like to stay neutral, even though I grew up in a Catholic household, and I don't diminish everything, but I just felt it wasn't completely 100% me. So I feel like those things helped make me grow too, because I was able to watch those people not only see different lives, but to authentically say what they mean and being able to relate to it, just standing up and saying, this is how I think things should be, and finding your people, because there's tons like you.
Yes, Jay's an amazing person in terms of his reach and popularity, because he's really become one of the top mentors. But I also sent you a couple of links from Brian Rose, founder of London Rail.
Yes.
What did you think about some of those links in terms of the structure and what he had to say?
The same. I think I related more to the Jay Shetty, but I still felt the same way. I felt there's lots to learn. I agreed with what American Real is all about. I love the connections. I love the fact that people are all looking for the same thing. They're looking for their voice. They're looking to branch out. They're looking to connect globally without having any global connections. I love that. I love the fact of the opportunities that come along with it. There's different levels, and I like that also. And I feel that it steers you in the right direction, but there's no absolute rules. You're your own person, and they give you the platform, and then it's your choice to do what you will with it. So I also respect those links and enjoyed them.
So when I look at week 6 and 7, and you were getting stronger and stronger, one of the structures that we put in place is called call to action. And it was during that time of you relating to some of your clients and your customers that I saw the real Danielle, I think, taking off. This huge kind of platform that said, I want more of this, and I want to get right into this. So explain how you relate to your customers and that call to action. How do you do it?
I'm not sure. I feel like I'm a realist. I am learning to be more positive than negative. And I love that and embrace that change. But I'm also always a realist first. I'm very raw and blunt. So I carry a tremendous amount of compassion for people also. So although I'm telling them exactly how I feel that I'm never doing it in a way that feels like I'm attacking them or judging them. I try to relate that I've also been there and done that, which is why I know what you're doing, which is why I'm able to call you out on what you're doing. Because it doesn't matter your size or your health or your situation. it's the stories we tell ourselves in our mind, and everybody has the same stories and all the same struggles, and we just deal with them differently.
That's a real example.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an amazing example. So what I'm going to do is exactly what we used to do every week, if you remember, was to ask you to do a live for 60 seconds.
Oh, yay.
Days. So if you would do a live for 60 seconds and then give your summing up of how that feels for you, being asked to do that at the end of every week. Yes, and that's an amazingly essential part of taking a drink and a sip. So that was a good one.
Yeah, I got to get ready.
Yep, get ready and do your 60 seconds. And at the end of your 60 seconds, explain to listeners what that meant to you to have to be asked to do that every week at the end of your coaching sessions with me.
All right. Are you going to give me a topic or?
No, I'd like you to choose your best topic because you feel, having heard your lives on Facebook, some of them are so powerful that you can choose whatever it is that you feel passionate about.
Well, today see, it's daunting, even when you got 10 weeks of training. I am going to
start with introducing yourself and just take it from that.
Well, I got to still think of something. Give me one more second. Okay.
It was the holiday time was one of them. The holiday weight was one. I can remember that. And then there was another one. And you were relating to the holiday period and how difficult that is, stress-wise, etc.
I got one ready.
Okay.
Danielle Ufland, Westfield here. I'm coming to you right before the holidays. And I'm popping on to share. I just had a conversation with somebody earlier that was very upset that her daughter is sick for the holidays. And she's a germaphobe. So she's been a germaphobe. She didn't want any other sick children near her daughter, which is understandable. But now the tables have turned and she doesn't want to miss Christmas. But she can't be the person that shows up with her daughter sick and sneezing and coughing all over everybody. And she's upset that she's going to miss Christmas. And I think last year I might have sat with her and dove into the complaints and the negativity. And that's not how I handled it. I tried to comfort her and tell her I'm also a germaphobe, so I can relate. But I also am an introvert and I love a lot of time to myself. And we're both 40 and one Christmas is not going to kill anybody. Her husband has agreed to stay home so she could go to her families for a couple hours. And she feels guilty that she's celebrating Christmas without her family, which I think is absurd because it's a couple hours. Your daughter is 3 years old. She will not remember that mommy left for 3 hours on Christmas Day when she was 3. And I was able to help her with the fact that it's unneeded stress. The holidays are stressful enough. Financials are stressful. Trying to see everybody that you care about. I understand trying to make it magical, but I tried to tell her, you have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day for a couple hours is not going to destroy your holiday. And you're doing the right thing. You're keeping your sick daughter home. She has a chance to get better faster and you're not, dropping the plague on everybody else that wants to enjoy their couple days with their children home instead of tending to sick kids. So my call to action would be, I'm sure that every mother can relate. There is the struggle, the guilt of leaving your family, of making the right decisions, of questioning what you're doing. But if I've learned anything this past year is your soul has all the answers, and whatever your gut says is what you should do, and you shouldn't worry about judgment and whatever comes along with that. You should just be comfortable in your decision yourself. So if you can relate, pop a comment below. Let me know how you feel. Happy holidays and have a great day.
And that's the powerful Danielle at the end of 10 weeks.
Yes.
What I can say there, that lady, whoever she is really lucky to have somebody like you to support her. She has a husband to support her. So I think that's quite necessary to have that circle of support. And that's true for people going live. I do believe, because I know that in our group we help one another get through some of the weeks, because some weeks are harder than others. But I can't emphasize enough that that lady was very lucky to have you, because you've already had that experience yourself. You admitted, and so you became very real about being a germaphobe yourself. And a lot of us mothers can relate to that. But then it's getting it into what we call perspection, so that you have a life. You do live that life. And you were amazing in that. So well done. Is there anything else you'd like to say? You're welcome. That's the growth I've seen from you. And so before we finish, is there anything you'd like to say in regards to being mentored to go live and the benefits?
The benefits are endless. The connections are fabulous. The putting yourself out there and the vulnerability is not a downfall. It's very, very freeing and satisfying. And I think that I struggled with who wanted to hear from me and why would anybody listen to what I have to say. And I don't feel that way anymore. I don't let 2 likes on something or 30 likes, judge how I feel about the live that I did. I realized that that would just be self-sabotage on myself. People are busy, things happen. Sometimes, algorithms get you overlooked, and that's not any reason to stop. You just keep going. And even though I may be trying to reach people outside of my circle, I think it's important to realize that I am supporting and reaching the people in my inner circle that might not be voicing that they need to hear what I have to say. And I do take that away from this. I did struggle with who wanted to hear my story. And now I realize that even though I'm helping my clients, some of them do need to see the real, part of me, and want to know the real me and, what they're dealing with also on a daily basis. So I do love sharing all the ups and downs, even though, I'm a loving mother. I put my children first. They also drive me batshit crazy. Sorry. And I don't have a problem admitting that. I think it's okay. I think life is rough. Motherhood is tough, and breaks are okay.
Moving on from being mentored, because I've watched you on Facebook do your own lives, can you say what effect being mentored has had on you going on your own and doing your own lives on Facebook?
It's changed everything. Like I said, I was a robot presenting, dreading. I seriously would sit in front of the computer for a long time. I would talk myself out of it all day. I would talk myself into it, and then I talk myself out of it. And I'm not there anymore. I knew I had this today at 4:00. I got here. I'm ready. I'm not upset. My stomach doesn't have butterflies. I was okay with it. And this is being recorded. This is not just, alive. It's being recorded and shared in other platforms. So I can tell you that just from that alone, the growth is immense. It has been one of the best decisions I've made this year. I have listened to my soul and made a ton of great decisions this year, even though financially it felt like it wasn't the right decision. I've put myself first, and I have not regretted any of it.
That's an amazing message for me because, one of the things that I am very passionate about is that you invest in yourself, and you never regret that investment. Self-investment is about you knowing that what you have to offer others means far more than anything, and you're quite willing to take that step. So I compliment you and I thank you for that. And I wish you and your family a wonderful and a happy Christmas and a healthy one in the new year, because I know that's when your work starts again, all over again. But I think you're fully armed and you've got all the tools and you're going to do an amazing job.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
I also wish you happy holidays.
Thank you too, Danielle. I'm looking forward to them too.
Good.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.